you stand by that statement?
What statement was it? I'm not familiar with it.
You referred to him as a P word, a female anatomy, a slang piece of female anatomy, I guess is a better way to put it. I can't say that on here. You can say it.
Talking about a piece of the pie?
The piece of the pie. That's the one. Yeah, I guess. Do you stand by that statement? Why would you say something like that about him coming into this? Do you question his masculinity?
I'm not sure. I've never seen it, but I'm all ears and all eyes. So if you're willing, I'm willing. Let's have a look.
In terms of this fight, let's get to it. You've said that you've sent him some text messages, some calls. How ready are you for this one?
I'm born ready, you know. Feeling good in training camp, and everything's been going really well. No injuries, no excuses, nothing to talk home about. Dedication, sacrifice, one day after another. You know, training camp's a pretty boring place. Eat, train, sleep, repeat. Nothing else goes on. You know, for this one, I've even took out Diet Cokes, which has been quite difficult, because I usually have around about 500-600 Diet Cokes per training camp.
Really?
For this one, I've not even had one. So, yeah.
All right.
Really dedicated.
You're really dedicated for this one. Deontay, in terms of your dedication, I know you just came off of that last fight against Ortiz. You got right back into the gym. You made a quick trip to Rome. How are things going?
Things are going amazing. You know, I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. And it's an amazing feeling, especially to be in a place where you came from and where you are now, you know. So I'm happy, and when you get a happy Wilder in camp and getting ready to prepare for a big fight February 22nd, you can only expect nothing but great things from me, and that's what I'm going to give you.
You, in the past, have mocked his lineal title. Do you respect it now?
I still don't. I don't, you know, if anything, people talk about the lineal and so, well, I never really heard it until he talked about it. Nobody really talked about it. I didn't see it. I mean, a lot of people say Lennox Lewis is the lineal champion. I guess if he come back, we'll have two. So, you know.
Do you have a response to that?
The fact of the matter is, he's won 6 heavyweight titles. How many heavyweight titles have you won? 1. So whether you want to say lineal, it's a historic title. I don't expect you to understand it, but you know, I'm a historian on boxing, and it goes back a long way. So whether you want to admit it or not, it's really unimportant to me, because your belt's going to be on the line. So that's up for grabs. And if you don't want to win mine, then I'll just win yours. Fantastic.
The good thing about it, you can keep it. You know, when I knock you out, you can take it back with you. You know, like I said,
thank you.
We ain't seen the lineal. Where is it?
The lineal doesn't have a
besides the belt that's holding up your pants. What a belt?
No, the belt I've got on is actually a Gucci, not a lineal.
So what a lineal?
The lineal, I carry it around in my presence.
Oh, you know? Okay.
When you look at me, you're looking at a lineal
visible
champion.
And I have a 12-round championship fight for nothing we can't see.
100%.
Nothing we can't feel.
That's why it's on the line.
We can't even get emotional attached to it. We don't even know. She ain't even pretty.
Well, the thing is, you don't need to see something to believe it's real.
No,
we both know that, don't we?
That's true.
So,
that's why we believe in faith, right?
Good man. So the lineal championship is sort of like faith to boxers. Can't really see it, but we know it's there. And if you believe it enough, good things will happen.
I heard that.
And you know, we're both on agreement on this thing.
Yes, you agree on something. I know one thing that you probably won't agree on is who has a better resume. Do you believe you have a better resume than Deontay Wilder?
Come on, Tyson, be for real now. Be real.
I'm always real. I'm always real.
All right.
Always. Now, that's a fantastic question, and it depends on which angle you're coming from. You're looking at a man here who's knocked out 43 opponents in a row. Now, even if I hate this guy, I've got to respect that. That is awesome. You know, I've never met anybody before who knocked out everybody they ever fought. That's absolutely
including
amazing.
You?
Including me. You didn't knock me out though, Mush, did you? Nearly. Woo! Not quite there. That's why we're having a rematch. But yeah, Deontay's got amazing power, and no matter what it comes to verbal blows or anything, you always have to respect him. He's 10 defenses. He's beat Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson and all these guys record in defending the belt. So he's done a fantastic job here in the United States, holding his title, defending it regularly, and congratulations to the guy. I've got nothing. I can't take anything from him. He's a great puncher. He gets the job done. People say, oh, he can't box, but you know, I won't 3 in a row by knockout. Yeah. So, and on my thing, I'd beat some good guys as well. I beat obviously a long reigning champion in Klitschko. Some people say it wasn't the most exciting fight, but at the end of the day, it was about winning and getting the victory for me. That's all that mattered, was victory on these big occasions. And I beat a few other contenders along the way as well, 29 of them to be precise. So yeah, I've won 6 belts as well. So, you know, this is why it's an eagerly anticipated fight and people want to see who's the best. And I do as a boxing fan, and so does Deontay. I know he does. And this is why we're throwing down. This is why I respect this man, because in a lot of other weight divisions, especially in our era, we're the only 2 undefeated warriors. We turned pro at the same time. We're still undefeated at the same time. And we're going to put it all on the line yet again for the fans. The fans are the only real winners here.
In the last press conference, and I agree with you on that statement, the fans are an incredible winner in this one. You want to purchase this pay-per-view, it's going to be incredible. In the last press conference, you said that you will knock him out in 2 rounds. Do you stand by that statement?
I stand by that statement wholeheartedly. The first fight, I wanted to go in there and use my boxing skills and outbox him. It didn't work.
Yeah.
No matter what people want to say, people say to me, oh, you boxed him well last time. Why don't you do that again? But he didn't win. And I'm about winning. So I class a draw as a loss. And he should too.
Does he have the power to knock you out?
I don't think so. You know, within these several years of us being in the division, you know, we haven't really seen that display. We've seen a couple of knockouts, but we haven't seen it like a continuance of occurrence, you know, like mine.
Did you feel it in the last fight?
I didn't. I mean, I still think Tyson had pillow as fists, but he's a skillful fighter, though. You know, you can't have it all. People say I don't have skills, but I have the punch.
Does he have pillow hands, like you really said?
That's what I felt at the time. You know what I mean? It's adrenaline rush in all jokes aside, it's adrenaline rush in the rings. You know, so you know we're all brave warriors. You know, we're all gladiators, and that's what we come the night of the fight to give you guys the best show of your lives. And here you are. You have one of the 2 best heavyweights in the world. We're putting it all on the line. You know what I mean? And I'm excited to be here at this point in time. And you know, with the strategies that they got coming up with, I just don't know how to take it. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're trying to throw people off the game or you know, come in and try to throw me off. But it's exciting to hear, and I'm looking forward to February 22nd.
We most definitely are looking forward to it, that's for sure. In terms of training, you have, and we're talking about power, so I want to go there. You've changed up your training staff, reunited with Sugar Hill, brought in Stitch Duran now as your cut man. Why all of those changes? And I did hear Sugar Hill say something about working on power with you. So why did you decide to make that move before this fight? And how does one focus on power? Well,
the thing is we're giant heavyweights. I'm 6'9" and I weigh 269 pounds this morning. So
just a little guy.
And I've had 20 knockouts out of 29 victories. So, you know, I'm very capable of knocking people out. And from what my experience as an experienced campaigner in boxing is, when I fought somebody who had like 4 or 5 knockouts on the record, I thought, oh, this guy can't punch. Walked right through him. I ended up getting dropped by the guy. Yeah, and then I fought old Dr. Steelhammer with 60-odd knockouts, and he couldn't knock me out. And I fought him with all these knockouts, and he couldn't knock me out. You know, so when you underestimate another one's power, you usually come unstuck. But I'm happy he thinks I'm a non-puncher, and it's fantastic, you know. But whether I am or I ain't a great puncher, the statistics don't lie. He's a much bigger puncher than me. One-punch knockout artist, that's what he does. But the thing is I don't believe anybody can match me with heart and determination. I will put my iron will on Deontay Wilder, and we'll see. Listen, it can only go 2 ways. Unless we get a draw again, which I don't want and he don't want. It can only he win or I win. So I'm not afraid to go el mono with the biggest puncher on the planet, biggest puncher of heavyweight boxing. When I knock him out, it's going to look excellent for me, isn't it? Bigger props.
You mentioned the eye. You didn't answer my question.
Oh, sorry, what was the question?
The question was, why did you make the change?
Why did I make the change? I felt that I needed to change, and I felt that I needed to get an edge. You know, if anything's going to help me win this fight, then I'm willing. This is not personal between me and these boxing trainers, me and the cut man, me and the nutritionist. It's business, you know, and if I think someone else is going to improve my business, then I'm going to bring them in. Well, I have. I brought in George Lockhart, the nutritionist, and I feel like he's doing something. Well, we'll find out on February 22nd.
We will.
And I brought Sugar Hill in. We're working on some stuff in the gym. What else have I done? I brought in Stitch Duran. Obviously, I got a massive cut in my last fight, so
yes.
I need someone who's very experienced with the cut game. So, yeah, I've made a few changes. But I'm still the same OG. Everybody knows me. They know what I'm going to do. They know how I'm going to fight. And they know I wear my heart on my sleeve. So, yeah, there's not much that I can hide. It's not smoke and mirrors. I ain't just going to come in there and be boxing like a light welterweight or all of a sudden come in there like Deontay Wilder. Doesn't happen.
Deontay, is that eye a target for you immediately when that bell rings?
Everything on his body is a target for me, you know. Everything that can be hit, that is permittable for me to hit, I'm going to hit. You know?
Do you think it's a mistake making so many changes in training?
For me, when you find a fighter like me, I think so. I'm already unpredictable. You can't train for me anyway, and to bring in so many opinions, everybody wants to be the head man when you have so many guys and so many trainers, and everybody got the remedy, everybody got the right set of ideas of how to do this and how to do that, and with that, and then I can only imagine how the camp is. There's so many different chiefs, and but on the other hand, it's never a bad idea to have so many brains in as well. So I look at it when I look at things and I see my opponents and how they try to prepare for me. I look at it in two ways. I mean, I'm always optimistic. I'm an optimistic person anyway. I don't look and say, well, I'm untouchable, and I'll never be able to do this or do that, or they're gonna do this to me. I look on both sides of the field, but that warrior in me, that mentality that I have, that king spirit, I fight with the ancestors, and with that being said, it's gonna take a lot of more than just men to be able to come in and be what God got for me.
How would it feel to deliver Deontay Wilder's first loss?
I've beat quite a few undefeated fighters in my time.
Does this one have a little more weight on it?
To be fair, whether they're undefeated or they're not, whoever is considered a good man at that time, whether he's got losses on his record or he hasn't, the victory is the victory. I'd take it anyway.
I'm sure you feel the same way.
Yeah, I'm sure every professional athlete feels the same way for sure.
Well, for me, I think with him, it's going to be, every fight, every victory, I've knocking off a few undefeated fighters myself. But I think this one's going to be a little bit more special for me.
Why?
It's just because of the history that we have, the controversial draw. And, for me, I consider Tyson like a breath of fresh air. For me, especially in the heavyweight division, because a lot of the other guys are just stiff. They don't want to open their mouth. They don't want to really just let themselves loose and have fun. And already it's such a dangerous sport. This sport is so dangerous. This is the only sport where you've seen so many people lose their lives in, and you got to enjoy it while we in it. And I just try to find the humor out of this such dangerous sport and try to find the same people that have the same, some type of sense of humor and be able to enjoy what we do. Because when it's the night of the fight, when that bell say ding, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. You both seem to really enjoy your jobs. I'm curious if you enjoyed Deontay Wilder's performance against Luis Ortiz.
Great performance. He did everything he was supposed to do. He knocks guys out and he knocked him out. Fair play. He took his time. I liked the way he was relaxing and not letting the rounds get under his belt like the rounds passing. He was so relaxed and calm under the pressure, and I was impressed. Not by the knockout, because I've seen him knock plenty of guys out before, but the way he was conducting himself under pressure, like going back to the rounds, no frustration in the corner, like, I got it, don't worry. Respect for that. Because if I go a few rounds down, I'm like,
I was gonna...
I gotta get it back. Boy, he was like stone cold.
Do you think that he can, stand to lose a couple of rounds early against you?
For sure, he has the ultimate equalizer. It doesn't matter if you win 11 and a half rounds against Deontay Wilder with 30 seconds left.
Do you think
he can KO anybody?
Do you think that you have to get things done a little sooner, or that you have to to do more against a guy like Tyson Fury in those early rounds?
I mean, finding a fighter like Fury, you definitely have to be careful. You know what I mean? Time go by so fast in there. You're having so much fun. You're trying to do everything that you prepared and trained for the fight. And before you know it, you look up, it's the 6th round. Oh, my God, it's the 7th round, 8th. You know what I'm saying? So with a fighter like him and what he brings to the table, you definitely about to have to have awareness, you know. But still, on the other hand, with me just being blessed with power, you know, for me, it would be his job to try to stay away from it. And, you know, it's 36 minutes up in there that he'll have to avoid. And I always say, you know, fighters have to be perfect for 12 rounds. I only have to be perfect for 2 seconds. And I'm just grateful to have that blessing of power, you know, because I started late. You know, I only started at 21 to gain skills and different things. I was always, you know, playing catch up with all my other Olympic teammates and all that. So, you know, with that being said, having power, it don't hurt at all, especially when you want to go home and have a good night and end it quickly. You know, power never hurts.
Just like the staring contest, as you've said before, don't blink.